The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech, featuring a weekly roundup of tech news and gossip. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech.
Come on in, if you really want it, got a feeling, get down on it.
You sound terrible.
Baby.
You sound terrible.
I do?
Yeah.
Welcome to Geek.Nerd.Tech, the show. That was awful, I admit. I'm no JT. I'm no JT from Cool in the Game. That was Robert, I think it was Ronald Bell and Robert Cool Bell.
There it is.
With JT on vocals,
There
singing
it is.
Get Down on It from 1981 or 80 or 81, something like that.
Something like
Before your time.
that. Yeah, right before.
I was 10.
Yeah, I was just, I had ears.
Okay. Welcome to Geek.Nerd.Tech, the show we break down tech news and nerd culture from a black and brown geek perspective. I'm Joe Braswell. I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Achilles Shine.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man.
How's fatherhood treating you?
Fatherhood is an amazing experience, man. Day by day, you learn something new each moment.
Yep.
But I will say, I mean, as most parents have to, endure, the sleep is pretty bad, especially with being creative and having to like create stuff, and it's a challenge. But hey, I welcome the challenge.
You welcome the challenge, yeah. I just a side note. I mean, I know some of the things I saw at the crib. You have your technology. It's been a long time since I had a newborn baby in the house, but like, what are some of the things that technologically you see that that you're using that technology?
Yeah.
I saw some gadgets.
We got a few gadgets, man. Like we got the Mama-Roo. I like that. I like the For Moms brand. That they have a product called the Mama-Roo, where you can actually rock the baby to sleep, controlling it with your iPhone.
Oh, that's that thing that's like
Exactly. It's like a hydraulic type of thing, and you could put a little soundtrack to it so you could hear ocean rain sounds, and then you could change the speed and stuff.
Little exclusionary. I mean, they call it the Mama-Roo.
I know, right?
I mean, the pops say they king of the Papa-Roo.
Exactly. We got a tub that can tell the temperature and when to actually place the baby in, or it's a safe temperature, and when it's time to take the baby out, when it's unsafe because it's too cold. So the temperature will beep red and make a loud sound if it's too hot for the baby, and also beep blue if it's too cold for the baby.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I have twins. I just put one in each side of the sink. If one was crying, that's too hot.
Right.
I'm kidding. That's not what happened.
And then obviously, man, there's so many apps out there that parents can use to track like feeding and sleeping and all that good stuff, and you get those analytics, and it's good for creating a schedule or routine for the child. So just having those things at your disposal, I think is awesome. Like,
wow, that's awesome. So what you're saying is, because of technology, newborns are a breeze.
Hey man, I think it makes it easier in some respects. Yeah,
that's good. Well, I wish I had some of that stuff. I guess for the next 3 I have.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So there's a lot to talk about in technology. I'm still getting ready for this Super Bowl situation.
Yeah, man.
And
Super Bowl in the Bay.
Yeah, in the Bay Area. We'll see. It poised to be one of the most watched and most social Super Bowls ever. There's some new technology that's coming there we'll talk about. I don't know if this is that new, but in the meantime, Facebook, again, we've done, I don't know, a lot of shows, a lot of shows, and it seems like every show we mention a Facebook innovation or a move Facebook's making.
Yeah,
and
that's very true.
I mean, before we get to the move, like, what does that say about Facebook's constant movement? I mean, like, they have at least 2 or 3, sometimes 4 or 5 stories a week that are like, Facebook's doing this, here's what Facebook's doing. Like, what does it say about them?
I mean, it says a lot in terms of their expansiveness, in terms of their meaning to culture, in terms of their meaning to the tech world, like, and what they're trying to do with their expansion policies, like getting into TV, getting into, traditional journalism and all that stuff. Like all the things that they're building into their platform, like all those things are newsworthy. All those things require updates and innovation, and so they're constantly making it better, tweaking it, because they're trying to like literally assassinate the old regime. So whoever had it then, they want it now. So that's why you always hear them, kind of pubbing up themselves, like, hey, this is what we're working on, this is what we're doing, because they really want to be that one-stop hub for everything.
Right, that makes sense.
So.
That makes sense. Well, we talked about a while back, that Facebook was already coming up with their sort of Periscope killer, which was their ability to stream live video, and they rolled it out initially as a VIP service for celebrities only. Like you see, like The Rock, you see The Rock up there, others, to be able to talk to their fans exclusively. Well, now they're rolling it out to everyone with an iPhone at least. So all iPhone users, if you're a Facebook subscriber and an iPhone user, you can now do this live streaming, which are essentially calling live video. It's a live video. Right. And you can also, like, what's cool about it is they're not ephemeral, so you can keep them forever. Yeah. Or you can delete it if you want to. If you don't like what's going on, you can keep it forever. You can share it. What do you think about this?
I mean, I think...
And is Periscope dead?
I mean, I wouldn't say Periscope is dead, but maybe it's irrelevant, especially when, other platforms are doing it better. Mm-hmm. And I think this play for Facebook is not just... I don't think the news is, hey, we're live streaming. I think the news is that there's 100 million hours of viewing time on videos on Facebook. Now what they want to do is create videos on Facebook, and then they'll be able to have other ad opportunities to be able to coincide with those videos that people are not only consuming but creating. And so I think and also you want to increase the amount of time people stay on Facebook. So now if you already updating your profile, updating your status, or you're communicating through in the messages, now you're doing it with video. So that increases the time that you're on it, increases the opportunity for conversation and opportunity for brands and companies to be able to put ads out for that. So I think that's really the move and the play.
And the story for me is interesting, is more about sort of the attrition of these new, not necessarily new forms of technology, but the new apps. Because at this stage of the game, it's really about figuring out a new social network, right? So like there's been three real successes post Facebook. Obviously, Twitter is a big success, which doesn't seem to be slowing down. Instagram's a huge success, which doesn't seem to be slowing down, although owned by Facebook. And then Snapchat's a huge success, which Facebook tried to buy twice, and maybe more that we don't know about. That doesn't seem to be slowing down. So when Periscope launched in a very similar way, and everyone tried to buy them, was this whole thing. It was interesting because in Meerkat, because they didn't have a patent on the technology itself, but their bet was, we're going to be first, we're going to be the coolest, we're going to build this base of people and then innovate from there. And they did steps 1 and 2, but then step 3, I'm a little surprised to see them go the way of Meerkat, because they went out and took out Meerkat immediately. And you can see Facebook and Google, and waiting in the wings, trying to figure out how, and Twitter, and so figure out what they're going to do. Twitter partnered up with them. But I don't know. It's interesting. So I guess my question is, if you were to come up with the next thing, like what makes things sticky like that? Like how come no one's coming up with Rap Chat or Photogram or Insta Pic or something? Like what that technology is not innovative technology. It's just like, I think about what Chris Sacca, the billionaire hedge fund investor, said when he passed on Instagram. They got pitched on Instagram. He's like, Flickr's gonna kill you, man. This Flickr's doing this. Everybody's doing this. Photos. It's dead. And he's clearly wrong. But why do these things stick?
I think it's just timing, man. I think it's timing and being in the right place. I think I think the thing that's unique about Facebook is that they have 1.5 billion users, and that's a shitload of people that are already accustomed to the platform and how it works. And so now you're empowering them with another tool to be able to communicate. And I think just like with Instagram, before Instagram, everyone's a photographer now. Everyone's a photo editor now. So now we're gonna have, everyone's a videographer now. Everyone's a producer now. So because you have the technology allows you the access. And so this democratization of this art form, it gives access to everyone, but it also promotes mediocrity. And so it makes it very saturated for the actual. I won't say the actual. It makes it very saturated. So for you to come out of that saturation and be above it is very difficult. But I like it because it's giving people the tools and access. And so I think Facebook is very good in terms of timing. Like they always seem to implement stuff in the right time. So
yeah, I just I don't know. I feel like that my issue with Facebook has always been, you talk about the sort of the platform. You're right. I have 1 billion users. We know what to do. People don't want to do. The average person doesn't want to learn a new thing, especially in technology. Like, oh, what a new thing again. People don't want to even as evident with Blu-ray versus HDVD and all the other stuff. But people don't want to learn a new thing. They want to stick with what they got. However, I just find Facebook's. It's still clunky to me. It's so clunky in terms of ease of use, and it is not a very elegant platform to be able to feel like I want to shoot my video or do anything or share. I don't know. Maybe I'm just I'm wrong, but I keep asking you this, but are you on Facebook? Do you really mess with Facebook like that?
I check Facebook religiously in terms of my feed. Yeah, definitely.
Do you? I mean, so you're actually checking it every day.
Yeah.
Do you get your news from Facebook?
I get most of my news from Twitter and some of it from Facebook, but it's just the easiest way to keep in contact with my community of friends.
Right.
Like, I mean,
to see what they're doing.
You forget birthdays.
Yep.
That Facebook provides that. So just to see what's happening with people and as they expand their family, as they go into new careers and all that stuff, I think it's the best hub for it because it's visual, it's text. You have news, you have video content. It has everything, and so I think I like it for that reason. But in terms of I don't even know if look at it like this, but I wake up in the morning, I give about 30 minutes to social media. Facebook takes about a third of that 30 minutes, and so then Instagram is maybe another 10 minutes, and Twitter's another 10 minutes. But yeah, Facebook has it, man.
Right.
They have it.
Well, my whole 30 minutes goes to porn. So I'm kidding. No,
way more than 30 minutes.
Okay, one last question. This is our first story. I'm just really just on this Facebook thing because I'm just. Is there precedent for another form of technology that has just become since the Industrial Revolution or since the new sort of I don't know, the .com boom or even back to the Industrial Revolution? I guess you have to go back that far to find a single company with a CEO, a company that has introduced a piece of technology that has not only changed the entire way we live, but it's become just completely ubiquitous throughout all of our society. I mean, it feels like you have to go back to the light bulb or something, or the railroad, or I'm trying to think the Model T. Is it that big? Because Facebook, as they grow, as the bees keep stacking on their users, and the bees, billions, and keep stacking of users and hits, it's to the point now where everybody is interacting on Facebook, and everything is run through Facebook. I can't even think of anything that besides Google in our time that is, but even Google is not. I guess it's search. Everyone Google. I Google I don't know, probably 25 times a day, 25 to 100 times a day. I Google something.
Yeah.
So, but Facebook it's really blowing I can't wrap my head around the continued growth of users it gains worldwide, and every new platform and how that new platform is gaining. Can you think of anything?
Man, I think that's a very interesting point. I can't think of anything, but when I hear you say that, all I think of is just that it's not. Facebook doesn't really own anything. They own zeros and ones. They own the intellectual property of creating this platform that really is from a computer program. So it's to me, the answer to that is the advent of the computer. But and to me, all these things, all these platforms are offshoots of that, obviously. But I really can't pinpoint something that was so earth-shattering or defining like a Facebook. I really don't know. It's hard to pinpoint that.
It's coming to the point where it's you can't really own the internet, right? You can't own all of computers per se, right? But and you can't own electricity. You can invent electricity, but it's coming to the point where you can own the mechanism in which probably a third of the planet interacts with each other.
Yeah.
And the fact that if I'm one person who's 30 or whatever I am, or under 35, and I know that I've created something that if a third of the people want to interact, that they have to come through me in some capacity, and it's free to you, but guess what? I do get to keep all of their data and all their other digital footprints, their data and information, all their photos and all this stuff. I get to keep all that, which is invaluable. And I also get to tell everybody who wants to do business with me that I have X amount of people. Like that is, I mean, like, and to think that where that is in the infancy of where it is now at being like 12 years old,
well,
like where is Facebook going to be in year 25?
Man, they're gonna be
like when Zuck is like
killing it still.
Yeah, when Zuck's 50, you know, and what is it? Half he has 2/3 of the population, half the population, 100% of the population.
Unless I don't know what how
you pay your electric bill through Facebook.
How you would classify the next up and comers, like the kids that are like 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, like. But I don't think those kids will be using Facebook. There'll be something else.
Those kids will be able to it'll be like whatever they're developing, they're gonna have to develop through Facebook because they're communicating through Periscope or Instagram or Facebook Messenger or
something very niched out that's gonna, like, Facebook was once niched out and it blew up. Right. So I see that happening again.
Interesting. Okay, just had to go off on a long side.
Every Titan has a fall.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. And like I said, I'm really, and this is my last doomsday scenario, I'm just really afraid. I mean, with all these sort of these individual companies, you know, and Facebook and owning the drones, I said this before, and whether it's Google and, you know, and what Serge and what's the name are doing, Eric Schmidt, and what Facebook, with what he has, that empire he has, and even Jeff Bezos and what he has. Take those three companies. Those are three guys who own a lot of what's happening, and like what's going to happen. These are companies.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen when, you know, I become a billionaire, a multi-billionaire, and I'm like, I want to buy Facebook, or the Koch brothers decide we want to buy Facebook, Amazon, and Google. You know,
impossible.
Yeah, you can't. Or we want
impossible.
I mean, I guess you can't. Like, I guess
Facebook is, no one person can buy Facebook. It's impossible.
I mean, the value is you see the value is
exceeded the richest person in the world.
Right, because it's like it's valued at whatever $400 billion or something.
Exactly.
And so who's gonna scratch out
it's
that
like
check?
It's like buying a country. Who's gonna buy a country? No one.
I guess that's true. Well, I guess we just hope that Zuckerberg stays nice and doesn't like go crazy one day and then turn into a dictator.
Yeah. Did Bill Gates do that? No. I mean, he's just as profound.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs just profound.
Right. We can talk about that. I mean, that's debatable because they control consumer electronics and product, and not information and not information.
But you can't
way of life.
You cannot get information without the product.
Right.
So to me, like I feel like the Microsoft Mac adopters and inventors, I think those guys are way higher because they've changed the way we navigate our world. Like,
absolutely. No, I'm not. I mean, absolutely. But I'm talking about as in power, like even at his height of power, if Steve Jobs would turn evil and said, I'm going to do whatever, like unless he's implanting some weird secret chip in every iPhone, you know, or something, I don't know, and then that'll blow up every time. It's just, he doesn't have that level of power, whereas Zuckerberg can be like, man, I don't know. I'm just really, I don't know why. I'm really on this right now.
You are.
I'm really on it because it's really blowing my mind, like the level of power that they have and what regulations are in place or aren't in place if Zuck decides, you know what, Facebook's going to do this.
But we still have a choice. We don't have to do Facebook. We have the choice.
Do we?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do Facebook still.
Why would you say do we? Like we're being forced to use Facebook?
No, but Facebook is so integrated in everyone's lives.
Doesn't have to be.
All right.
That's a choice.
Okay. All right. Only 10 topics to go. No, it's good every now and then to bust one out and then and have a conversation about it. This is to Chase is I'm gonna move on to this whole Apple Pay, Google Wallet situation because most of these, they talk about how most banks are going to are thinking about the idea of sort of replacing ATMs with your actual smartphone. And if you think about it, I mean, this is kind of where things are headed. I mean, in fact, cash is going to be outdated. The idea of I would imagine in 10 years from now, the idea of pulling out cash and having change in your pocket, I'm already there. Yeah. I don't like to have a bunch of change and like I got a bunch of ones and a couple 20. It's like if I could avoid that, I hate that. I would love to be able, even in Vegas, I wish I could just walk up and be like, beep, and then have them give me some credits and keep it moving.
It's inevitable.
I mean, I don't, it's interesting. I don't know. But so what they're saying is, the globalization, it's a study, it's about the globalization of the ATM. And it basically sort of talks about how, Chase banks and other banks are trying to go cardless as it is. And so the next step beyond cardless will be like, cardless, I should say, will be no ATM.
Right.
And you walk up and whatever you need, you put into your PIN and your account's available.
Yeah.
And
this is your ATM.
Yeah. So what do you think of this?
I mean, like I said, I think it's inevitable. We already see this in other countries throughout the world where you're able to go up to an ATM machine with your smartphone and make a transaction. And I think with the whole Chase being it's a really large bank, I think, and they're adopting this technology, I think it will propel everything that we're talking about. I think for them, like the strategy is like, how can we make things more efficient, more safe, and like, man, I mean, you just explore like the history of like banking and how money and checks were developed. Like it's almost like a 300-year system that hasn't had any innovation. So like because of technology now, we can have this dialogue of like, how can we make this better for all, for banks, for customers, and make it just more efficient. And so I think that's kind of cool, man. I don't know. But it's cool, but also it scares me because it just increases our dependency on technology. Because say, for instance, like your shit dies or you lose it, like, and you need money, you don't have money, and now you don't have an ATM card. Like, what are you gonna do?
I can't go to the ATM.
Exactly.
I gotta get a charger somewhere on the charger. I gotta charge my shit so I can get money to give to the guy.
Exactly.
I mean, they're already experimenting something like with things like Venmo and other things that people are experimenting with, going cashless, but. It's interesting to me. Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's always going to be some need of hard currency. I mean, this is how our whole economy is based on the Fort Knox, the Federal Reserve, and it's actually based on actual currency. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. That's nothing that sort of is interesting.
But I do agree with you in terms of like, if you were to kind of like, if I were to analyze my own daily practice, like I don't have cash. Hardly ever, unless I'm traveling, maybe,
right?
Or like if I, like you said, go to Vegas, you're doing like an amusement park. Right. Not even then. Like I just took my niece to Disneyland, didn't use cash at all.
Yeah, but you don't even think about it. You're not like, oh, I gotta, like back in the day, like let me go, I'm going to Disneyland, let me pull out like $300,
right,
which will get you like some popcorn and a lunch. But like, anyway, how was Disneyland for? Did you use the app? Because of the technology.
I did not use the app.
Oh wow! I used the last time I went. I used the apps and it was fantastic.
Really?
It told me when all the lines were.
Right.
I knew what was happening in real time at all times. It was fantastic. And Disneyland's really on point with their technology in terms of navigating the park. With closures when stuff's happening. I'm in parades.
I wanted to use the app, but I came to Disneyland with 50% and I forgot my charger. I'm like, I'm not going to be on the phone all day because I need my phone.
That's true.
That's why.
That's a good point. Yeah. Disneyland's good. I will say this: it hasn't changed, and I've got, for me, when I used to take the kids to Disneyland, everything I would do would be, I say it's $50. Like I'll have 2 sodas and a churro, $50, sir. Okay, well, I'd like 2 slices of pizza and a Coke. That'll be $50. What, is everything $50?
Man, they over there.
Everything is. I can't do. There's nothing I can do at Disneyland.
Fistful of money.
There's nothing I can do in that entire park.
Fist over fist.
Once I've already paid to get in there for under $50.
Man,
find it for me, someone, please, if you have kids. Anyway,
it's so true. It's so true.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, I digress. So, speaking of new ways to get to advertisers and new ways to get to folks, Boost Mobile. So Sprint, who owns Boost Mobile, which I didn't even know that. You know what? Okay, so Sprint, who owns Boost Mobile, is trying something out. The question is, so the Boost Mobile folks have a different sort of plan than most of us, but they're trying this bit where they'll give you $5. They'll give you $5 off of your bill. You pay $5 less a month if you want to see a lock screen that has an ad. So companies like Levi's and Starbucks and Lyft and Hulu and EA Sports, basically you go to use your phone, and before you do anything, you got to see a commercial, and then like you can unlock it, and that's going to get you $5 off. Like, what do you think of this business model? Is it invasive? Is it smart?
I think for like the adolescent or for like the younger generation, like that would be
the Boost Mobile user.
Precisely, that would be perfect. But like for maybe like our age demographic,
Right.
like, yo, I need to make a call.
Yeah.
Shit's like, I have to watch this ad before I have to make this call, or
Yeah.
like that to me is like, I'll get tired of that. And $5 is not very much, not a big savings. But for like we just said, like for that generation, that's perfect. Like I can save $5.
Right.
Like,
I just gotta watch the ad.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I'm very interested to see what the success rate of that will be, because it's a new way to get to people.
I like the model though. I like
It's a decent model.
the way of thinking. I think it's interesting.
I wonder how they decide what the threshold is. Like, is it $5 off, $10 off,
Right.
$2 off? I mean, like $5 seems like it's cheap. I want more money. If I gotta watch ads, I want more money.
Right.
Or I wonder if it'll go like, hey, if you want to watch 5 ads, we'll give you $10 off. You know, or if you want to watch 6 ads, we'll give. I wonder if they'll go to that model.
Man.
But it's a lot. You know, you have to watch 15 ads before you use your phone. But your bill's only $5.
Right.
You know, I don't know, and that's interesting. I'm wondering about that. Go ahead.
My last note is just like how they're targeting those ads. I wonder like what system they're building in place to be able to say, okay, here, this 17-year-old
Right.
high school student, like, here's the ads we're going to send you. Thanks for signing up.
It's clearly they're definitely going for the 1834 demo, because like EA Sports, it's Lyft, Levi's, Starbucks. So they sort of figure, as if Starbucks needs to advertise to anybody,
Right.
But so yeah, I guess it's not like Coldwell Banker or or Lexus or anything like that.
Right.
It's
It's just it's brands that are already targeting that audience anyway.
Right, and people like EA Sports. So this is just an interesting story. But I read this last night or the night before when it went down. I was kind of checking this out real time. The Kanye Wiz feud via Twitter. Did you read Ye's whole tweet rant?
Honestly, I didn't
care.
I didn't.
Okay,
I did not read it.
he went in, and it's like it's a non-story that's only a story because of how hard he went in. I mean, Wiz, I don't know, it was a bad move. He had a couple things to say about Kanye popularizing a style called wavy, basically sing-songy style, and basically saying like, don't take away from the real wavy folks. And Kanye took such offense to that he not only just sunned Wiz for everything he's ever done, and said he bites everything that Cuddy's ever done. Then went on. You let a stripper trap you, Amber Rose. Every time you only got your girl, you only got your son because of me. Every time you look at your son, think of me. Like, he went so far in, like he destroyed like everything that Wiz is. He made a list. Number 1, you whack. Number 2, he went down like number 37. Number 37 or whatever it is. He really went crazy. So it was like, it's one of these things where it started out as, okay, yeah, he's going to, but then like a half hour later, he's still tweeting. It was pretty epic. It just, I don't know what to make of it, but it was definitely like a slow car crash. It was definitely something to watch. I was wondering like, oh, he's still going?
Wow.
Like it was like, all right, bro.
For real?
No, it doesn't. He did drop in something because he said, hit that KK. And he's talking about weed, but Kanye thought I was talking about Kim Kardashian. He's like, oh, hit that KK. You bring my wife in it? Like, he went crazy, but I don't know.
Wow.
It was it's worth. I mean, like, I'm looking at some of these. 7th, by the way, he's on his list. 7th, I'm your OG. I will be respected as such. 8, like, he's just going down the list. He's really like, super Kanye.
Do you see LL and Kumo D having a Twitter battle?
I mean, no, but although the stuff that was said in both those songs, especially LL's song to poor Kumo D, like really just annihilates. No, but it's very much in the traditional.
I'm gonna hit you up on Twitter, homie.
But it's interesting. But it's like, if you look at it from that perspective, it seems kind of goofy,
super goofy.
But it's hard to, like, as Ye said, he's like, oh, like niggas think because I'm the greatest rapper of all time, I'm not petty, huh? Right. Like, you think I can't get petty? Let me show you 37 tweets.
Wow.
So I don't know. Yeah. I enjoyed it. That's all. I'm guilty. Guilty as charged. They got me. Kanye, I mean, it just shows that, like, the Kanye's at his best. Mad Kanye is always entertaining.
Yeah.
But it's also from a sociological standpoint.
It's also from a promotional standpoint.
Well, sure, he's got out his records, because records coming out next week. So
exactly.
Tuesday, whatever it is. I get that, but at the same time, And it makes you wonder how calculated that is. That's the other thing. How calculated was that? It didn't seem calculated for him to go on that level of rant, but Kanye, his Q rating just goes through the roof when he is talked about. Like,
of course.
I mean, he's never more popular than when he went up there and tried to snatch the award from Taylor Swift. Yeah. Never more popular than when he said George Bush hates white people.
I think it's a strategy, bro.
It's just like people just go nuts.
Yeah.
Like Bill O'Reilly's like Kanye West.
Yeah.
Like it's just everyone's,
People Google it. People are searching it. People are like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
and his album comes out. Oh, hope his album was good.
I mean, it's not a dissimilar strategy from Donald Trump. It is. You just sort of like flood the media with crazy, like, you're crazy, and just you, like, I don't know, but Achilles glasses or something else.
Chatter.
Yeah, popular or infamous? That's a good question, Marissa. I don't know. Like it's either way. Either way, it works. It just keeps coming. You have something to sell. Your goal is to keep the conversation going. So it's just is what it is. I was watching this FX show called You're the Worst. That I love, but it's over. But there's an episode where one of the people in the person's a PR person for this rap group or rapper, and they had a small beef that she wanted to turn to a bigger beef, so they kept beefing in this restaurant, and everyone's like taking pictures, and she's like, it very much reminded me of this, because it was like a very contrived, played for comedy, of course, contrived beef, but it was like just almost to say this is how this thing goes, this is how it goes, and we all sort of work, but it got me.
Hey,
I don't know.
I'm reading them right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty funny because Kanye is entertaining. I couldn't help but laugh, and I was really like, he's still tweeting. Like, what else? I'm your OG. I would be respected as such. I don't know. His sentence structure is like crazy. Anyway,
no one I know has ever listened to one of your albums all the way through.
It's like he just kept at another thing. I don't know. It's really funny.
That is funny.
All right. So, I mean, we've talked about this, about I'm skipping that story. I want to talk about this, that, Congress is getting involved, and the FCC finally is getting involved with this whole,
No, keep going.
Give me one.
No, we're good.
Give me one.
I made it so we could wear tight jeans.
Yeah, that's right. Like, that's such a Kanye thing, right?
Right.
It's like, I did this for you. Like,
I'm done. That is ridiculous.
I'm the Jesus Christ of tight jeans.
Wow.
Man. Anyway, I just picture him like looking at a picture of Wiz and just looking at him, being like, "And you tight jeans? I started tight jeans. You can't tattoos. I did tattoos, which you didn't. Anyway, so the FCC is finally getting involved in this idea in the cable. I think this is kind of the beginning of the end of these cable situations, because one thing that when we talk about all this cord cutting and cord cobbling and all the stuff that we do and I do, people also forget that they also get you is you rent these cable boxes from these companies. Mm-hmm. Like, you rent them. Like, it's not
I just changed out mine actually today. It's an additional $3 per month. But yeah, go ahead.
Congratulations. You don't own it.
I know.
Just to have it in the crib.
Yep.
And then exactly. Oh yeah. Good news, we have a new box. It's better than ever.
That's right.
Bad news is it's going to cost you an extra $3. Like, people are paying like $200, $300 a year for their cable boxes.
Retarded.
It's just like, I mean, how these companies get rich on you is insane.
And
every single year, millions and millions and millions of boxes. They're just laughing. And it's the same thing. Like, it's how it's back to the ESPN example. ESPN gets from you
$4
and from everybody listening has even. It's like $7.
It went up?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like $7 a month that they're getting from everyone. That's a lot. So when people are cutting cords like me, and they're losing 10 million subscribers as they did,
that's $70 million.
That might hit a bottom line.
Yeah.
And the cords keep cutting. This is why ESPN is laying out. ESPN is so rich,
right?
But it's just interesting. So anyway, FCC has a proposal that will that sort of like put the clamp on this stuff. Like, they want to unlock the cable set-top box, tear down anti-competitive barriers. they want to do all they want to stop that. And I think it's a great idea. I think this will be the beginning of the end of cable as we know it, which is already on. It's already the writing's on the wall,
super on the wall.
But these companies are just trying to figure out how to keep their money, which I understand.
Hey.
So I would talk. The Super Bowl is coming to CBS, and the Super Bowl, which was last year's most watched television show, is on CBS this year. And CBS, I think they're telling this is new, but they had a version of this a while back. These Vicon cameras, iVision, which is like they wrap the stadium in these cameras and give you a 360 sort of view of what's happening.
Yep.
So you can catch the ball, then rotate like the Matrix, and then see what else going on. Then rotate back and see what's going on. I guess it's 36 cameras strung together on the top decks. I guess the only difference
5K.
The difference is the quality and probably the fluidity of this, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's amazing the technology that actually renders that so that you're able to see that in damn near real time. I think that's pretty phenomenal because such high images. To be able to get that type of it's the processing to be able to get that type of final image, I think is awesome.
Yeah, I think that is the move, because before you would see that stuff and it was kind of like that little jerky like
and I think it's because of the way the broadcast infrastructure is not the same as, say, like digital infrastructure. You can see it online more smoothly than you can broadcast wise. I think there's just limiters on what you can get in real time. So
right,
but yeah,
interesting. So we'll see. I want to see how that works and how that looks, and if it's any more fluid than we usually get. Next, not last.
What do you think of? No, there's another camera too that they've had since I don't know, at least 10, 15 years, but they're also improving. I forgot what it's called, but the camera that's on cables.
Yeah.
I forget it goes like 30 miles per hour. Like, I think that's pretty phenomenal.
That camera is amazing, by the way. The Skycam.
Yeah, the Skycam.
Yeah, that thing is ridiculous. It's like it's on. If you kind of know what you've seen, I think it's on 3 or 4 cables.
Yeah,
and it just sort of zooms through and zooms in.
It's crazy.
But the amount of it's kind of the next best thing to having a drone.
Yeah,
but it's even better than a drone because it can't move. I guess drones can move that fast, but it just the precision of which it's able to move around and turn around and get a shot, and those operators got to be like,
man, they're badass,
super nice, they're right? Because the idea of like you're zooming around to get a shot, and then the movement of the actual rig itself, and then the movement of the camera, and then actually the focus on the camera and locking in that shot.
I think it will.
It has to be multiple operators, right?
I think it's like the camera already has autofocus. So once you lock in the depth, it's going to lock in. It's going to lock into that subject even if it's moving.
Right.
So they probably lock it into the line. Boom, or whoever's catching the ball, they lock into them.
Right.
And then, in terms of the stabilization of that camera, like it's probably, even though it's on cables, it's super smooth.
Yeah,
so
smooth.
I think it's just controlling the movement of it in terms of like the positioning and composition of it. But I think in terms of all that stuff, it's already like the technology already provides that.
But it has to have a minimum of 2 operators, right? Because as one guy that's just getting the cable, getting the position, another guy's got to be operating the actual camera itself, which also moves back and forth through those shots. And because it's a live game,
it's crazy.
Your directors call me, and we're really going deep dive nerd right now on this stuff. But because it's a live game, your directors call these shots.
Right.
So your director has to say, ready Skycam 3.
Yeah.
Zoom Skycam 3, zoom in on Cam Newton's back.
But you don't wait. I guess we do see. I guess what? So when we see a quarterback hike the ball, is that the Skycam, or is that just a? I'm just trying to figure out do we see the Skycam footage
during the game
as a replay, or do we see it during the game?
You see it during the game.
Oh,
you see it during the game, as you see it in kickoffs. Every kickoff, you see it on kickoffs. You see it on some snaps. You see it. You see it actually after the play when teams are walking back to the huddle. So there's a standard stationary shot that you always have,
right.
Which you get those up top, which is so you're a big master. But now you get those ones that, and they always mix in these shots where before the snap, they'll zoom around.
Yeah, that's true.
And then get the snap, and you'll see them draw back, and they'll cut to the wide camera.
Right, yeah.
And those are, the directors now who direct these things are
Man,
really
sophisticated
these days. Because that truck, and it's still a truck.
Right.
That truck is ridiculous.
Yeah,
and you got multiple operators and multiple cameras, and
you're talking about 70 cameras at the Super Bowl that someone is managing.
Yeah, and it's still one director. At a certain point, you feel like it's got to be at least 2 directors or something, but it's still one dude.
Right.
Anyway, That's interesting. What else? Cortana, who I've been playing a lot of Halo 5 lately. So, which is Cortana is a big part of that storyline. But now this Cortana on which is the Microsoft version of Siri, can nag you or bug you about your emails, which seems a little invasive to me. You can put on a thing called Reminder, which is kind of like a personal assistant. So if I'm like, yes, Akili, I'll be there at 4:30, at BHL, send.
Yeah.
And Cortana's like, Joe, you told
What
Akili
happened?
4:30.
What's up?
What time is it?
Right.
What do you think of that?
I mean, for the person that has a lot going on, that might be, an advantage for them to have. I don't think I personally would need that. I think I'm pretty buttoned up in terms of my organizational skills. Like I like the fact that you have some automation in terms of that. Like it's looking for potential events or potential opportunities.
To be fair, I think you have to. I mean, I would hope this is the case, but I'm pretty sure you have to tell them. Like after you send them an email, you can be like, "Oh, Cortana, remind me that I have a meeting with Keely at 4:30."
Wait, run that back.
I think so. After the email, you have to say in that you have to tell her what you want to. You have to tell her. I don't know if she's scanning for it.
I interpreted that Cortana is scanning for it, like it's going into your emails and just making sure that, or it's picking out the opportunities that maybe you haven't put in your calendar. It's like, hey, what about this one? Or
you were right. Yeah, because
I think that's a bit of
all these keywords like let's do lunch or let's figure this out. Okay,
it's kind of invasive. I don't know if I would want invasive. That.
Like what if you're trying to hook up with somebody like Joe? You're supposed to get that girl get some skins at 2:30.
Beat up at 5 o'clock.
I gotta get.
Wow.
Yes.
That's too bad. Sorry, Cortana.
Yeah, Cortana, I'm sorry. All right, so
I gotta say, man, Siri sucks. I can't stand Siri.
I don't really use Siri.
Siri freaking sucks.
Why do you say she sucks? That's pretty strong.
Whatever you tell Siri, she doesn't hear it right.
Right.
Like it's just slow.
Right.
It's just not good, man.
Yeah, they've improved it a lot, but it's still not quite right. Nah. But I tell you what they have improved a lot is not talking to Siri like Siri, tell Akili, and not the dictation piece, which is okay. But if you do straight dictation on your iPhone, that works pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
That's pretty solid. Yeah. So which is an improvement. I know. Siri's still got some bugs to fix, but the technology's getting there.
Yep.
The recognition and then the ability to recognize your voice and your your speech patterns is still coming. One last story before we get out of here. We're missing. I mean, we have a lot more, but I do want to hit on this one that Google paid Apple $1 billion to keep its search bar on iOS.
Whoa.
I mean, I always wonder about that because Google has Google's is very heavy on the Android side. Been very heavy participating in the Android situation. Now I wonder how that would affect Google. Apple already booted Google off with Apple Maps. And booted Google off of their own app maps.
Whoa!
I wonder if Apple is going to have do their own search because they have all of these iPhones. It's just like Facebook. Like Facebook can do its own search because they have all these users. They can do Facebook search or Apple search, but Google is still dominant player in the search game.
$1 billion. Why would they need to do that? Wait, and I want to know, like, is that $1 billion every year, or is that for like a 3-year? Is that a 3-year deal? Is that a 5-year deal? Like,
interesting.
Because if that's a B every year that they're willing to pay, that's ridiculous. Just to have Google as their choice of search, I think that's amazing. And I don't think Apple has the infrastructure to be able to compete with Google in the search game. I just don't think that will ever work.
Yeah, or I mean, Facebook maybe, but I don't. They don't say. They just basically said that happened. That it's got out that they paid in 2014. They paid $1 billion. So crazy. I don't know if that's a yearly fee, but I think Google will pay that. Google would love to not pay that, but I think they will. We have 2 or 3 more stories, but we'll get to them next week. Just some Sundance recaps that are happening, and Amazon's presence.
Birth of a Nation.
And then Birth of a Nation, my man. Like that's who's on my man. Nate. That's who's on Michael B. Jordan's corner. Like
competing.
Yeah, I mean, because I was just Bill Simmons had an interview with interview with him a while back. Like,
right.
who are the guys, the many guys out there who you're worried about?
Right.
And there's really not any young. We don't have any young Black American actors really that are. I mean, all the Black American actors are over or my age and up.
Yeah.
And all the people snatched up the Oscars and attention are a Nigerian-born Nigerian English dudes,
or their B-list.
Or their B-list, yeah. But I mean, all the the David Oyelowo's or the Chiwetel Okorafor's or the Idris Elba's of the world. Those are the now the big stars. And they're all English.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we don't have Denzel's 60.
Oh, man.
So we don't really have nobody. I mean, we got your boy Morris Chestnut on Rosewood.
Stop it.
Looking at those glasses.
Stop it.
Dr. Rosewood.
We got LL.
We got LL, CSI.
Not NCIS
and whatever. But we don't. But the guys that are like in their 20s, like who's in their 20s? I mean,
that's killing it.
Yeah, and my boy
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan's in his 20s. Even my dude from Birth of the Nation is 36.
He's not killing it either, though.
I mean,
he's not had any blockbuster films.
Not any blockbuster films, but he's yeah. He was good in.
I'm not taking anything from him. I love him.
No, I mean he was great in Beyond the Lights, which was
the Great Debaters.
Debaters killed it. He did not kill it, nor did anyone else kill it in Red Tails. However,
come on, man.
Oh man, look, I was riding for Red Tails super hard.
Red Tails is not that bad.
I was riding for that movie super hard. I interviewed all those cats, including George Lucas. I was excited about it, and I just feel like, the young guys were good. I don't know about the old guys. The Cuba and the Terrence Howards. I don't know about that one.
Dang.
I don't know about those two in that movie. And I don't know about the script either. I'm sorry, John Ridley. God, everything was right. What's wrong with that movie? I could do a whole podcast on what happened to Red Tails.
Rewatch it, man. Rewatch it. It's not that bad.
Really?
It's not that bad.
John Ridley with the script. Like George Lucas produced. Every single young black actor we have, including David Oyelowo's in that joint.
Yeah.
Like Michael B's in every
Neo.
I mean, Method Man.
Yeah.
Like everybody. But I don't know. Maybe it was missing a Denzel. I don't know if Terrence Howard and Cuba were the choices. I didn't believe Cuba as the man, but whatever. Anyway, I digress. I'm looking forward to the OJ movie though. OJ miniseries.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be awesome.
That's Courtney B. Vance as Johnny Cochran. We're gonna get out of here, Marissa. I'm sorry, we're out of here. We're just rambling. Thank you. Wait, do we? I think that's it. Where can people find you?
Man, they can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Achilles Shine, AKILISHINE.
You can Twitter and Instagram, and at Joe K. Braswell, Snapchat, JK Braz, no Periscope. That's it. That's all I got. We will be back next week.
Yes, sir.
We'll continue our maybe do all Red Tails show. I'm gonna go rewatch Red Tails.
Man, do it. It's not that bad, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
This is some acting.
I mean, it's not excellent, but it's not bad.
Okay. All right. We'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us. Bye bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.